International Speedway, DarkSide Mustang presenting this season and the season opener. Donald Ray and John Honeybrink starting on the front row at Daytona. 39 entries in tonight's race. We'll see who comes away with the season opening victory. Jeremy Brio in third, Tommy Reynolds in fourth, Tristan Catania starting fifth, and Cody Meadows in that sixth position. Tom Sears starting seventh, Jake Blankenship on the outside of row four. Georgia's Cody Pannell and Colorado's Patrick Allen rounding out the top 10. Then you've got Chuck Kaneda, TJ Handley, Dan Maddox, Cody Riggs, Thomas Andrews, Stephen Downton, Matt Kent, Jason Alexander, Clayton Hardy, Elliott Longenegger, Justin Williams, Tony Estes, Seth Watson, David Houck, and more. Donald Ray leading with John Honeybrink off the fourth corner. The DarkSide Mustangs A-squared season about to get underway. Pace car peels off, waiting for that green.
Green flag, green flag.
Let's go racing at Daytona. John Honeybrink in the number 20, leading Donald Ray right behind him. The first lap of the new iRacing season. Tommy Reynolds on his outside, and this is what it's going to look like. It could be a crapshoot all the way to the finish. Rock ball. That inside line. Ray. First race of the season, and him, just like everybody else, eager to get this show underway. So many possibilities as the chrome numbered 5 Chevrolet Camaro sits ahead of Jeremy Brio in that number 74 Taco Bell ride. The number 11 Sport Clips Camry now coming down to the inside with the Arcs Chevrolet of Tristan Catania filling in right behind Cody Meadows. There you see Tom Sears rocking that number 14 Arcs Camry on the inside line behind Tristan Catania. Then Cody Riggs sitting in the 14th position. Fastest lap of the show goes to car 78, Toby Estes. 47.59 is the purple lap for tonight's race thus far. Cars jostling at the back, everyone trying to find some semblance, some peace in these early laps, shaking off the rust. Estes in the 78, now behind the 9.6 of Clayton Hardy. Hardy driving the mellow yellow Chevrolet behind the number 3 of Cody Riggs, sailing through that third corner. Everybody trying to get their best line going through this racetrack and find a drafting partner early on. Honeybrink still leads, Ray in second, Jeremy Brio sitting in third.
Yellow flag is out.
Caution is out, yellow flag is out for the first time today. And caution flies over the Daytona International Speedway. John Honeybrink leading Donald Ray in second. Still moving at speed here. So they're going to race this one back to the line, it looks like. Jeremy Brio sitting in third, Tommy Reynolds in fourth at the time of caution in the Smeal Racing Designs Chevrolet. Let's see if we can find out what brings out caution number 1 4 laps into today's season opener. Not really seeing any cars that sort of lost control here, but the caution comes out regardless. Terry Freer may have had something to do with that. Let's have one more look before that yellow came out. Oh, cars just getting a bit squirrely out of the fourth corner. Let's go back just a little bit further. Looks like we had some guys come together. Oh, look at that, the 2-4 of Terry Freer immediately jumping to the pits. A couple of cars blinking out the back. The number 6, the Virginian, Tommy Withers, makes it through with an incredibly good-looking 2000 Mark Martin paint scheme, I might add. One more time, riding along with Terry Freer. Well, and this may have been, because we can't find Freer anywhere on the racetrack at the moment. So, let's see here. Let's try one more look here, trying to find Terry Freer on the track before this all happened. Freer, again, in a big blinking spot, not sure what's going on. And there's Rich Catania in the 2-4. Looks like he's going to get a knock from the 6 of Tommy Withers, and that sends the 2-4 of Rich Catania straight into the wall. You saw the 2-2 also got a piece of that. Kobe Roberts skidding. So that's going to bring out the first yellow. Tommy Reynolds manages to survive all of that, currently running 7th. John Honeybrink at the helm in his number 20 Camry. Let's see if we can bother JH for a word here. Find out how John Honeybrink is enjoying his race so far. And Honeybrink looks like he's unavailable for comment, so let's go down to Donald Ray, who's sitting in that 2nd position. Let's bother the Texan for some insight on his race thus far. Donald Ray, Rick James up top. You got me, buddy?
I got you, buddy.
You're sitting there in that 2nd position behind the 2-0 of John Honeybrink. What's it like shaking off the rust? Welcome to a new season.
Man, it's pretty exciting. Hope to do some good things this season. Had to miss a bunch of races last season, so didn't really get to contend for the championship, but hope to make a few more this year and be up there towards the top in the end.
Practice has been difficult. Shaking the rust off these new cars has been difficult. Who's your best drafting partner out there? Does it seem kind of just like a team effort by the Chevrolets?
No, I got my buddy Twisted in front of me. I know he's in a Toyota, but he's the plate track master in ARCs, and then we got Thomas Andrews. He'll make his way up here, and we'll see what we can do. I think you'll see one of the 3 of us at the start-finish line for the win.
Most important question of the evening, Don. What is your favorite race of the season?
Man, that is a tough one. I'm probably going to go with Vegas, though. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
I hear you, buddy. Keep the shiny side up, man. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
All right, Rick. Appreciate you, buddy.
Texas Donald Ray sitting in that 2nd position. So the lights are out atop the pace car. We're going to go green next time by with John Honeybrink lining up to the inside of Don Ray. These are the top 2 that started the season, and they're going to start the first restart of the season as well. We're going to take the advantage to take a 30-second break so we can go ad-free for the new viewers, and we'll be back with more A-Squared Racing from Daytona. We're patiently waiting for the pace car to peel off so we can restart the race. Once again, 7 laps will be completed with John Honeybrink as the control car in that number 20 Toyota Camry. Don Ray was outside, and look at Cody Meadows, eager to push, waiting for that flag. Let's go racing. Green flag. Honeybrink continues to lead in the number 2-0 with Donald Ray behind him. Single file line all the way till you get to the top 10. Dan Maddox on the outside and Tristan Catania just squeezing in to that inside line in the 4-8 Arcs Chevrolet. Mr. Jason Alexander behind him in the number 5-3 Coors Ford. And on the outside by his lonesome in the number 10 Black Rifle Coffee Machine, Dan Maddox. Watching David Houck go to his inside. The Californian in the number 2-1 Mobile Ford trying to hang on to that top 13 position. Single file all the way down the inside line. All these drivers trying to find a draft partner in the early goings this season. All the way at the back, you've got Brian Messer biding his time in that 5-4 Toyota. Cody Meadows sitting in third in the Great Clips number 11, one of the Virginians in this race with Thursday Night Thunder Series two-time champion Tom Sears riding along in the 14th position. Let's ride along with Meadows as he gets comfortable at Daytona. Most of the drivers settling in single file, trying to find a drafting partner to go with. Jimmy Kerr in the number 75 Black Acid Ford has found a comfortable spot between David Houck, and up ahead Josh Garrison in the Coast Guard 44. Now looking to the inside of Seth Wansing. This is going to be for the 11th position. Wansing back down to the inside line. Seth Wansing in that blue John Smeal design Chevrolet, watching drivers jostle around him. We were talking to Donald Ray earlier, and he said, look out for Thomas Andrews. Andrews now on the outside line. I don't know if he's trying to use side draft to get around Jacob Blankenship in that 6-6, but now he's creeping further up that field. Cody Pannell in the 2-8 sees the Ford coming, but Pannell elects to stay behind the 5-0 of John Smeal. John Smeal and Jeremy Brio, sideswipe teammates, also followed by that number 28 of Cody Pannell and the 7 of Tommy Reynolds as well. 4 sideswipe cars nose to tail off that fourth corner, despite the fact that they're mid-pack for the moment. Still plenty of race to go. This first stage, 30 laps. Second stage, 30 laps. And then we're going to go all the way to lap 200 to bring this race to a close. And if you've just recently tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're watching the Above Average Cup Series from virtual Daytona. At the front, John Honeybrink leading Donald Ray. Cody Meadows in the 3rd position. And then you've got the 78 of Toby Estes. He's looking brave. He wants to break that line. But on the outside, Seth Wansing using the side draft to single-handedly roll his way through this field. The Smeal Designs Michelob Ultra Camaro now has the 44 Dodge Charger of Josh Garrison right behind him. Then you've got, it looks like the 9-6 car. That's Clayton Hardy on the outside, trying to pick up some draft partners, and we've got a dance on that high line. Fastest lap of the show, car 7-5, Jimmy Kerr. recently becoming the fastest driver on the track with a 46.87 at the front now. New leader, Tom Sears in the number 14 ARCS Camry takes the point. The Massachusetts native now leading these 250 miles at Daytona. Clayton Hardy on the outside in the number 9.6 Mellow Yellow Chevy with a mirror full of Seth Wansing and that Dodge Charger from Josh Garrison, third in line on the high side. Let's ride along with Garrison as he pushes his way to the front. Garrison currently being scored 5th. He's up 22 places from where he started, but welcome Jimmy Kerr III. James Kerr to you, 33 spots up from where he started. The number 7.5 Black Acid Chevrolet finished 4th. Last night in the Midwest Barbecue Saturday Night Showdown Series, he's got help from Jason Alexander on the outside, and you can see the cars starting to accordion just a bit tighter now. The 6-1 of Josh Gaiman looking for a draft partner. He is the Ford sandwiched between the Toyotas of Cody Meadows and the 7.8 of Toby Estes. Seth Wansing with some blinking, second in line on the high side. Tom Sears continues to lead the procession out of turn number 4. 2 by 2, almost 10 rows deep, and at the very back, Thomas Andrews sitting in the 19th position, now behind that blue and black number 3 Goodwrench car of Cody Riggs, and you gotta give it up to whoever designed that 3 car, because Cody Riggs is looking pretty good in that Goodwrench ride. Riggs in the 3, now being pushed along by Andrews in the 2. David Houck in the 21, watching Riggs get just a bit closer. Tristan Catania in the 4.8 behind the 7.8 of Toby Estes, and it's just a battle of patience at this point. There's 12 laps to go before the end of this stage. Drivers trying to find good draft partners, trying to find someone to go with. The 2.8 of Cody Pannell, also rocking the Smeel Designs logo on his Red Bull Ford, now diving down to the inside line behind Thomas Andrews. Cars shuffling out of that second corner, everyone looking for someone to go with. Pannell in that 2.8. He's got Brio behind him. Big checkup in turn number 3. Cody Riggs in that 3 car, trying to get back up to Houck in that 21. The 44 of Garrison, he's up 16 places from where he started, still behind Seth Wansing, but the outside line has seemed to lose its steam. 20 laps underway, and Tom Sears leading John Honeybrink in that second position. Donald Ray still in third. The 2.0 and the 5 linked together, and they are immovable. You heard Donald Ray say earlier he is a plate track master and one of the best at it. Honeybrink in second now. Clayton Hardy on the outside. He's been leading that outside line by his lonesome, and that 9.6 continuing to persevere despite the lack of help behind him. Let's roll around with Clayton Hardy for a lap and see how he manages the high banks of Daytona Beach. A great look at the diffuser on the bottom of that 11 car. That's Cody Meadows in the Sport Clips Camry that just got ahead of the 9.6 of Clayton Hardy. possibly trying to add some fuel to that top line fire. 21 laps complete now, and there's 9 to go in this opening stage. Tom Sears ahead of John Honeybrink and Donald Ray sitting in third. Drivers jostling. Will someone make a move? That's Josh Gaiman in the black 6-1 Ford to the outside. Estes in the 78. That's the 11 car right behind him of Cody Meadows. Everyone trying to stay calm, cool, and collected as the field bears down on them. One of the other Chargers, that number 19 of Stephen Downton, watching the cavalry start to catch up, and that Mopar Charger's going to have to get a move on. From the back end of Tom Sears. Moldy Muskrat joins the chat. He says, "What's up, Rick? What's up, Moldy?" The season opener at Daytona, going after it. Marcel Walker in the chat says he's getting it. Tom Sears is getting it at the front of this one, but John Honeybrink wants to get behind him, push him further away from this field. It's 5 laps to go next time by in this stage. 6 to go, pardon me, next time by in this stage. The Race Arcs Camry of Sears leading. Toby Estes having to check up on the high line. Driver's not sure where to go, but there's more steam on the outside line. John Honeybrink peeking to the inside, and he tells Tom Sears, "I ain't a killer, but don't push me." The 2-0 Camry behind the 1-4 Camry. Coming to 6 to go in this stage, 5 next time by. New Jersey's Tristan Catania in the 4-8 purple Arcs Chevy, being pushed by the 6-1 of Josh Gaiman. In the chat, Hoot Wheel says, "Let's go 6-1, cheering on Josh Gaiman in that all-black matte Ford. The 7-8 of Toby Estes right behind him. Fans cheering on the 6-1. 5.5 to go in the opening stage. The 11 getting squirrely. Toby Estes right behind him, trying to find out where to go. Marcel Walker says, "I ain't a killer, but don't push me." Good stuff. Marcel, I love quoting rap. Wait, when I'm doing these broadcasts. You might hear a lyric or two. Who knows? Tom Sears now fighting with Tristan Catania to his outside. The 6-1 of Josh Gaiman. Getting squished between the 4-8 and the 7-8. Toby Estes trying to find just a bit of room on the outside, but nothing goes for him. Sears watching everyone pile in behind him. It's going to be 4 laps to go this time around to end the stage. Honeybrink leaving no gap between him and the Camry up ahead. 2 by 2, 8 rows deep out of 4. Sears to the inside, Catania to the outside, drag racing to lead lap 26, and that time it's New Jersey's Tristan Catania, who's the new leader at Daytona International. He's taking Josh Gaiman with him on the outside. The 78 of Estes wants to come along. The 14 on the inside line. Tom Sears, will he wait for the 48 to come to the inside now? Does Catania bring the Gaiman with him? And he does. 3.5 to go in stage 1. Fans at home, at the end of stage 1, we're going to be taking a 2-minute break. And we're going to bring you more racing from Daytona International. Stage 2, 30 laps. Stage 3, going to take us all the way to the end. Josh Gaiman on the inside line. Behind Tristan Catania, Tom Sears being supported by Toby Estes and Cody Meadows. It's 3 Toyotas on the outside line. Then you have the Chevrolet of Clayton Hardy. Josh Garrison in the Coast Guard Charger sitting 4th on the outside. Sears on the inside being pushed by a Chevrolet and a Ford, and that trifecta trying to finish 1, 2, 3 in this opening stage. 5 miles to go in stage 1. Next time by, Toby Estes has climbed 23 positions to be in the 3rd spot right now. Can his hard work lead to a stage win? Sears goes to the outside to get the block from Estes, who moves to the inside. Estes desperate to lead, and at the line, Toby Estes leads by 4/100ths of a second. Josh Garrison now behind the 9-6 of Hardy. Will he push the issue? The 11, look at these drivers just sliding everywhere. Everyone trying to squeeze down to the inside line ahead of Toby Estes. Tom Sears with the push out of 2 gets Cody Meadows to go with him, but now these 2 are sitting ducks. Here comes Estes with a great run through 4. Will he go to the high side with Catania behind him? Driver starting to accordion on the top line now. The 6-1 of Josh Gaiman with no help, trying to side draft his way into the top 3. One more lap in stage number 1. Tom Sears leads. Cody Meadows in that 2nd spot. Toby Estes sitting in 3rd. Battle for 10th here. Jimmy Kerr, one of our hardest chargers. He's up 30 places from where he started, now behind Cody Riggs. He's got Clayton Hardy to his outside. Half a mile remains. 1 mile to end the stage. Tom Sears and Cody Meadows, 1 and 2. They've been brilliant draft partners so far, but where will it lead? Catania moving high up on Estes. Catania losing control of his race car. 3 wide behind him. Catania gets his car under control. Tom Sears leading Cody Meadows to the line to end stage number 1 at Daytona. It's Tom Sears. Tom Sears with the stage win. Cody Meadows in 2nd. Josh Gaiman in 3rd, and that's going to end stage number 1. Tom Sears opening his season with a stage win, and now everybody can take a deep breath and relax. Fans at home, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more racing and the 2nd stage of the DarkSide Mustangs Cup Series from Daytona. So stage number 1 concludes with Tom Sears getting the points. Cody Meadows in that second position, and we're about to go racing one more time. Gonna throw the green flag and get the second stage underway. Cars filing through the third and fourth corner. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James, and you're watching the DarkSide Mustangs A² Cup Series, the opening round from Daytona International Speedway, the first of 12 races in this third season. We're racing the entire Cup schedule from start to finish, breaking it up over 3 sections, the first 12, the second 12, and the third 12. But there's so much more racing to do before we can look forward. Tom Sears with Cody Meadows on his outside, waiting for that signal. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Couple of drivers escaping the calamity down the access on the apron. Meanwhile, Cody Meadows taking advantage of the draft from Donald Ray behind him. It's the Meadows and Ray show on the top side. Meanwhile, it's Sears and Hardy on the inside line. Tom Sears in the number 14 Camry being pushed by Clay Hardy in the 9.6 Mellow Yellow machine. Then the 6.1, I've got that wrong. The 6.1 of Josh Gaiman. Third in line with David Houck in fourth. Gaiman leaving plenty of gap between him and the 9.6 of Clay Hardy, possibly trying to work up a run, and watch the 6.1 make up the distance on the inside line. David Houck going with him, offering a big push. Here comes the 11, trying to side draft off the 6.1, does so successfully. The 2.1 of Houck now trying to offer some help to the 6.1 into 3. 2 by 2, 9 rows deep. So we'll take these cars to lap number 60, and that will complete stage 2. Tom Sears leads Clayton Hardy, Josh Gaiman, David Houck, Cody Meadows, Seth Wansing, Don Ray, Honeybrink, your pole sitter, Cody Pannell, Tristan Catania, rounding out your top 10 for now. Josh Gaiman in that 6.1. Trey Kirk in the 6.6. To the inside of Jimmy Kerr following Cody Pannell. There you've got Cody Riggs just looking to the inside, trying to be of assistance to that 66 car. Further on down in this pack, Rich Catania sits there, and in this secondary gaggle of cars, possibly just trying out some draft techniques, you've got Terry Gabbard in that number 4 Bush machine, sitting ahead of Terry Freer in the 4.6. Right now, Freer finds himself behind Terry Gabbard, some 5 laps off that pace, but a good-looking 46 DuPont Chevrolet, the Lapeer, Michigan native, trying to make up some time in this first race of the season. Can't get enough of that Jeff Gordon car, though. Take a look at that. That is pretty snazzy. Let's see if we can get a different angle. The stories have been going around for a while, but that 46 is a bit significant to that DuPont paint scheme. That was meant to be Jeff Gordon's original number when he was driving a DuPont car for what I believe was going to be a race at Talladega in the fall of '91. But he didn't make his debut until 1992 in the 2.4, and from there, the rest is history. Local driver Ryan Pannell in the number 12 Smil Racing Designs car. He sits behind the 2.5. Elliott Longenecker in that Chevrolet, sitting ahead of Ryan Pannell. Gotta love all of these lovely team sideswipe paint schemes. Pannell sponsored by Hooters on the quarter panel, but every one of those cars running the John Smeal Designs logo up top, and the windy Chevrolet number 25 sitting in the 26th position, leading Ryan Pannell behind him. Back to the front. David Houck to the point. The Orange County native sits ahead of Donald Ray on the high side. Behind him is the 7.5 of Jimmy Kerr, up 30-plus places from where he started. The North Carolinian getting pushed by Josh Gaiman in that 6-1. At the front, David Houck continues to manage the lead responsibly with Honeybrink behind him. Don Ray trying to side draft off of that 2-1, but the Mobil 1 Mustang continues to lead at the front of this race. Donald Ray edging Houck. There goes Clayton Hardy. He's lost control. Big wreck down the front straight. Cars flying everywhere, tumbling down the front straight, and a huge, huge crash on lap number 40 going into 41. Look at all these cars involved here. The 2-4 of Rich Catania involved again. The 3-0 of Dan Roberts, he got a piece of that accident. Terry Freer involved, Terry Gabbard involved, Justin Williams in the number 8, he got a piece of that one. And obviously that brings out caution number 2, Clayton Hardy, trying his best to keep that car in the right direction, but it just wasn't so. Let's have a look. Hardy just getting loose. It looks like he might have gotten hooked on the 7 of Tommy Reynolds, who goes airborne from there. And it looks like that's the 45 of Patrick Allen that just gets a hard bump from the 30. That's one of the Roberts brothers. Let's have another look. Whoa, this is way too far back. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's ride along here. This is Rich Catania in the 2-4. Let's ride along with Richie and see how he tried to get through this. There you see Cody Riggs got a piece of that. The 3-1, that's Matt Kent, one of the Smeal Designs cars. Matt Kent actually making his first debut as well. Let's go back and let's ride along here with the 7. Let's see just how this one unfolded from Tommy Reynolds' point of view. One more look from high above. Cody Pannell just barely made it through that one. Richie Catania almost made it through. Let's have a look at Thomas Andrews, who diligently avoided all of this. Just driving through all of that smoke, unbelievably talented to make it through that accident. One more ride along with Thomas Andrews. Have a look. Andrews, one of the only drivers to make it through that race unharmed. Great driving by the pilot of the number 2, Thomas Andrews. With that amazing, amazing skill, he's earned himself the season's very first Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Give me some of those
Ice cream indeed, Cole. Ice cream indeed. So that brings out the third caution of the evening. Thomas Andrews avoids all of that calamity to make it into the 8th position. Donald Ray leading with Tristan Catania behind him. Fans at home, we're going to take we're going back to green next time by, so let's do this. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with more racing from Daytona. Ready to go racing once again. That caution brought to you by the good folks over at Windy Chevrolet in Ellensburg, Washington, priding themselves on their outstanding customer service. Whether you're looking for a new or used vehicle, financing options, or repairs and maintenance, they're here to serve all your needs. Find new roads over at Windy Chevrolet. Go to ebergchev.org. I think it's time for more racing. You guys want to go racing? Let's go racing. Green flag is out at Daytona. Donald Ray leading the first lap after restart. David Houck behind him in that 2-1. Honeybring third on the high side, leading the inside train. Cody Meadows in the number 11 Sport Clips Camry. He's got the 2-2 of Kobe Roberts behind him. Roberts was involved in that first accident, but he's come back for more action up at the front. Who's that down to the inside? It's one of the Smeal cars that's there. Can't find out who that's. The 2-8 of Cody Pannell getting out of the draft and now struggling to get back into it. Josh Garrison to his outside in the Coast Guard Charger. Cody Riggs falling by the wayside of the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet on the inside line. Everyone trying to form around him. 47 laps now underway. 14 to go in stage 2. Sober David in the chat says, more racing, please. Happy to oblige, Dave. If you recently tuned in, I'm Rick James. You're watching the DarkSide Mustangs A-Squared Cup Series from Daytona International. It is the season opener. Texas Donald Ray leading the way. David Houck on his outside. Colorado's Patrick Allen on the inside, trying to find himself some speed, but the Rogue Energy Chevrolet is on the apron, lacking. Honeybrink, third in line. Then it's Catania. Jimmy Kerr in that 7-5, who's still in this top 10, despite starting in the 39th position. Kerr finishing 4th last night in the truck race, looking to do just a bit better. And Tom Sears, the Thursday Night Thunder 2-time champion, trying to get a win in above average with Thomas Andrews behind him in the number 2, Miller Ford. On board Kobe Roberts now. Single file on the top. Kobe Roberts behind the number 11 car. There goes the 11. Look at that. Cody Meadows just a bit loose. Roberts is still behind him. The bump drafting strong into the corners, but drivers must be cautious to take care of each other. Bump drafting in the corners, a bit of a no-no in A squared. 12 laps to go in the stage. Who's going to jump first? Who's going to make that move? It's a game of chicken at 185 miles an hour. Josh Garrison scraping alongside the wall in his number 44. Garrison, not too bad, just a dent on the right front fender, and he's got Cody Riggs to help him through. Ohio's Terry Gabbard sitting in that 17th position now. He's on the lead lap and pushing on the outside line, which for once seems to have more momentum than the inside line. South Carolina's Jason Alexander following behind Toby Estes. Alexander rocking that number 53. Coors Machine, the South Carolinian. Everyone knows not to sleep on Jaco, as they call him. That's Mr. Jason Alexander to you. Richie Catania in the 2-4, just in the foreground. He's going to be overtaken by these cars that have shifted down to the inside now. Single file, 6 cars deep. Donald Ray leading David Houck. John Honeybrink in the 3rd position. It's Chevy, Ford, Toyota, your top 3 at Daytona. Just realized my audio wasn't on that entire time. That's rather embarrassing, but second caution comes out. Josh Garrison pounding the wall and now missing the front end of his number 44 Coast Guard Dodge Charger. And I apologize for that audio mistake, but let's go back and see what brings out caution number 4 with fewer than 10 laps remaining in stage number 2. This is coming into the first corner. Josh Garrison has Cody Riggs behind him in the 3. Have a look. Oh, this seems to be the lap prior. I'm way behind. Let's have another look here. There's Catania. Let's see if we can find Garrison. One more look here. TJ Handley seemed to be involved in this one. There's the 13 who got loose, and it's oh, there it is. There it is, Handley just plowing into the 44 of Garrison. Caution coming out on lap 48. Let's see if we can have one more look as to what happened to Josh Garrison here. Let's roll this one back. Let's see where this one started because there's some contact here. Oh, and it looks like Cody Riggs is under the 5-0 car. That 5-0 belonging to John Smeal. And Riggs just really sent it in loose on Smeal. Riggs came out all right, and Smeal, for the most part, came out unharmed. Let's have one more look. Smeal mostly okay. Now, I don't know if Riggs got loose or what happened there. But caution number 4 is out over the super speedway. Donald Ray still being scored as your leader. Orange County's David Houck in that 2nd position. Let's see if we can have a quick word with David Houck and bother him about his goings on. David Houck, Rick James up top, you got me. One more
Rick,
time. David Houck, Rick James, you got me?
Yes, sir. You got
Second
me?
time's a charm, Davey. You're sitting in that 2-1 Mobile 1 Ford behind one of Texas' best sim racers. Donald Ray has been leading the majority of this race, but he says John Honeybrink is a plate track master, and he's sitting in the third position. You are the Ford in this Chevy Ford Toyota Trinity. What odds do you have to win today's race?
We'll see. These are two of my favorite people to run with here, restrictor plate racetracks. Me, Donald, and Twisted, or Jonathan like to team up here on these things, so we'll see how it goes. Top side of the track's really fast on the get-go, but really it's going to be who can protect the bottom, I think, here at the end.
That was going to be my next question. What's the hardest part of this track so far? Because for the most part, drivers seem to be getting along okay with the track. It just seems to be drafting seems to be the issue. We're going to green this time, Dave. What's going to be the strategy for the end of stage 2?
Right here, me and Donald Ray are going to figure something out here, and Jonathan, we're going to get in line and just be patient. This ain't the black and white checkers we want, but stage 4 is only important. And another top side is going to be the most important part, I think, on these restarts here.
Favorite race of the season, Davey?
Favorite racetrack or race?
Race. Favorite race of the season?
Gonna be Sonoma, man.
Home track. Love it, buddy. Keep the shiny side up. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thank you, sir.
David Houck on the outside of Donald Ray. We're coming to 6 laps to go in the end of stage number 2. John Honeybrink sitting in third. Once again, the race facts brought to you by the good folks over at Windy Chevrolet. For years, customers from the Yakima, Wenatchee, Kennewick, and all over Washington have been coming to Windy Chevrolet to fulfill all their vehicle needs. If you're looking for a reliable dealer to purchase a vehicle, then make a short drive to their showroom today. Find new roads at Windy Chevrolet or go to ebergchev.org. About to flip the switch on the racing once again. It will be 6 laps to go when we get the green. Don Ray, David Houck on the front row, John Honeybrink in third, Tristan Catania on the outside of row number 2, waiting for that signal.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Let's finish the stage. Honeybrink behind the number 5, Donald Ray, leading this race. 5 to go in stage 2. David Houck pushed all the way back to 5th on the outside line. Toby Estes right ahead of him. He's up 22 places from where he started, but you've got to give it up to Snow Camp's Jimmy Kerr, up 36 places, sitting in 3rd. He's playing the patience game. Is anybody seeing the 7.5, or is that Black Asset Ford playing the role of sleeper? Chevy, Toyota, Ford, your top 3. It'll be 4 laps to go in stage 2 when they hit the line. And of course, don't forget, if you want to go ad-free with Rick James TV, all you've got to do is subscribe. And if you have Prime, you don't even need to pay for it. Link your Prime, link your Twitch, get what's called Prime Gaming, get loot for your games every single month, get free stuff for your games, get free games, and of course, 1 free Twitch subscription every month. Why not make that Rick James TV? And let's go ad-free. 3.5 laps to go. Donald Ray leading John Honeybrink. Jimmy Kerr in the 3rd position. That hasn't changed. but Clay Hardy now breaking his way into the top 10. He now tucks in behind the number 11 car of Cody Meadows. Further on back, Steven Downton, with the help of some lucky dogs, has brought his number 19 Mopar Charger up into the 20th position. He's behind the 7-4 of Jeremy Brio, and then the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. These cars trying to make their way through. Justin Williams a bit further ahead. He's behind the 6-1 of Josh Gaiman in the 17th position. No draft help here as John Smeal in the 16th spot leads this three-car tandem. 2x2, 5 rows deep with 2.5 laps to go in this second stanza of the season opener. Donald Ray trying to defend the lead from David Houck, but the side draft is too strong. Houck and Catania to the outside, and look who it is. Back in the top 5, Tom Sears in the RaceArts.com Camry. Behind the 4.8 of Tristan Catania. Coming out of this fourth corner, David Houck in the 2-1. Behind that 5 of Donald Ray. Catania to the outside. 5 miles remain in stage 2. Tristan Catania to the point. The New Jersey pilot leading Tom Sears on that outside, but is it enough to clear David Houck? 1 1/2 laps remain in the second stage. There's Catania being pushed by the 14. Houck with help from Ray in the 5. Honeybrink third in line on that left-hand side as they're facing forward. And the 11 car, Cody Meadows, filling in the third slot with Jason Alexander on the high side. The 4-4 of Josh Garrison going to be overtaken by this 200-mile-an-hour cavalry. Garrison kindly leaving the racing surface to allow the leaders to speed on by. This will be the final lap in stage number 2. You heard David Houck say they're fighting for stage points. Houck, Ray, Honeybrink your top 3. Sears on the top side with Meadows behind him, and then the 5-3 of Alexander. Jason Alexander trying to find his way into the top 5. He has yet to do that all race long, but he impressed Thursday night at Rockingham in Thursday Night Thunder. We'll see what he can do and translating that skill from one season opener to another. Orange County's David Houck will use Richie Catania as a pick. Coming off that fourth corner, they're crashing to the line to end stage number 2. Big wreck as they avoid Richie Catania. David Houck gets the stage win. John Honeybrink in second. Donald Ray in third. It's a Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet finish and a huge crash at the end of stage 2. And it's been fireworks all night long for A Squared. Let's see what happened here. I can assume it started with drivers trying to avoid the 2-4 of Richie Catania, and yeah, this already started from there. So let's have a look. There's the crash right there, and it just looks like some guys were trying to get around Catania. Oh, and a big hit there from the 5-3. Jimmy Kerr avoiding that one. Josh Gaiman avoiding that accident. Look at everybody trying to avoid Jason Alexander unsuccessfully. Tommy Withers gets a piece of that one. How did that happen? Looks like guys just get together trying to avoid the 2-4 of Catania. Let's roll this one back and see if we can get a good look from the blimp. One more look here. Let's slow it down. Keep your eye on the 1-4 on the top side. He's being pushed by the 11 car. That's Cody Meadows on the high side. And it looks like they're just trying to avoid the 2-4 of Rich Catania. Sears tries to avoid him, and in that avoidance gets clipped by the 11. So the bump drafting out of the corner is the catalyst for that accident. And here's the resulting pileup from all of these cars here. The 78 of Estes, hoping to avoid all of this, and does so, and just big pileups from this accident. One more look. Big crashes there. Look at that. Just barely avoiding that. Roll that back, because Jason Alexander almost got caught up in this accident as well. The 5-3 on the high side. Watch him. 4-8 of Catania. Look at that. Alexander just barely misses that. Have a look at Clayton Hardy and the way he got through this mess. Oh, Hardy actually just gets a big clip at the end there. Shame for him because he almost got through. And then watch Tommy Withers in the 6. Oh, he's going to blink at the last minute here, and that's probably going to get him collected also. Oh, look at these drivers. Goodness, the 10 car having to go through the grass. Was that Daniel Maddox? It is indeed Daniel Maddox. Let's ride along with Maddox as he avoids all of, well, Maddox getting into the 5-3 in the 7-5 of Kerr and wrecking him at the end. We've got to take a look here. Let's ride along with Dan Maddox. One of the side swipe cars, and then Maddox blinking at the end here. Not sure what the issue with Maddox is. He'll come back to avoid all of this, despite a little bit of contact. Now watch this. Watch the hands in the 10 car. Not sure who he was trying to avoid at speed, but he ends up getting into the 75 of Jimmy Kerr. And Kerr, who's been one of the strongest, at least most consistent cars all night, now gets his first damage of the race. And unfortunately, it looks like nobody earned a Cole Trickle move of the race through that one. Hoot Wheels in the chat earlier said, each the 61 just barely missing the 48. And Josh Gaiman has been sleek and stealthy throughout this whole race. He's sitting fourth on that outside line. Seth Wansing and Cody Pannell, one from Missouri, the other from Georgia, now leading this race. Both a couple of team sideswipe cars with a third sideswipe teammate, Trey Kirk, sitting on that inside line. And now let's see how these drivers get along in this restart. So it's going to be Wansing with the control, Pannell to his outside. Stage number 3 underway. I know I put 200 there for the stage breaks. That's genuinely a mistake. We're not going to lap 200. We're going to go just less than 40 laps to the finish here. Seth Wansing and Cody Pannell on the front row. Lights are still on atop the pace car, so let's see if we can actually bother the race leader, Seth Wansing, for some advice. Seth Wansing, Rick James, you got me.
Yes, sir. I got you, Rick.
Leading the race in that number 9, you're going to have the control when we go back to green. What's the hardest part of these new cars?
Man, I haven't really gotten to test them out yet. To me, they're pretty good, man. You can get big runs and run up high and kind of pull people back with the side draft. They're driving pretty good right now. It's the first time being up front. Just trying to take care of my stuff. So number 9 Chevrolet's been running good, though. We'll ride up here at the front, see if we can't lead a few laps, have some fun, and try to play the strategy right and put her in victory lane. But if I would say the hardest part, just judging what lane to be aware. I mean, the runs are so big, and people can get hooked up and lock bumpers so well. You never know which lane's going to move and which is not. So just got to judge it right. Want to thank everybody back at home for tuning in. Hope you all are enjoying a great show. Rick, thanks for broadcasting, and let's go. Let's see if I can't give myself a 500 here.
Keep the shiny side up, buddy, but the most important question we've got to ask you, Seth, what is your favorite race of the season?
Favorite race of the season? Probably the Coke 600. Having a beer, 600 miles, nothing better.
Good answer, buddy. Hopefully we talk to you at the end. Best of luck.
Thank you, bud. Drive me back.
Oh, and I cut him off. That's rude of me. Well, we're going to restart with about 37 laps to go. Seth Wansing to the inside of Cody Pannell. Then you've got Trey Kirk in the 6-6 and Orange County's David Houck to the outside. It's the final stanza of racing. Here we go. The season opener coming down to these final 36 laps. Pace car peels off, green flag waves, and we are racing once again from Daytona. Seth Wansing leading. He's got Cody Pannell behind him in that 2.8. 35 laps remain as we complete lap 6.5 at Daytona. The Missouri native leading the Georgia native, and then Trey Kirk sitting third in line. Team Sideswipe dominating that inside line. He's got the 5 of Donald Ray to his outside. Rockwall, Texas. Donald Ray just ahead of the 6-1 of Josh Gaiman. Gaiman has been a sleeper in tonight's show. He has yet to taste that lead, but both he and the 7.5 Ford of Jim Kerr have just hung around consistently through that top 5. Welcome a new player into the top 10, Justin Williams, in that flaming green and blue number 8 Chevy behind the 11 Sport Clips Camry. Williams looking to do something in these final 35 laps, having to check up as cars are getting just a bit more anxious now. And you couldn't blame them. The season opener. Anybody could win this race. iRacing or not, it's a win at Daytona. Earlier in the chat, Sober David says, at least it was a mistake on your end. Crash out the back. Big crash down the back straight. Everybody flying down. Who's been involved? Can't see exactly who got a piece of that one. Terry Gabbard got a piece of that most recent accident. Trey Kirk was involved in that one. And caution number 5 flies on lap 67 at Daytona. Let's have a look and see what brought this yellow out. Oh, and they're already crashing. They're already having an incident here. There's Terry Gabbard. He's gone. This is Trey Kirk. He was in the top 5 when his race car went around. Gabbard saves it. And let's see if we can get a closer look with Trey Kirk. Oh, wow, he just collects. Looks like the 7. That's another Smeal car there with the yellow rims. That's possibly the 7 car. Let's go back and have a look here even further. So Catania in the 4.8 is going to be was outside. Let's take a look from the blimp and see if we can find the catalyst for this 5th caution. That's the 50 car. That was John Smeal who was collected with Trey Kirk. Watch this. Oh, Smeal gets into the wall, gets a little bit of a touch from Honeybrink. Smeal just can't hold it. So close. One more look. Watch Smeal, the 5-0 on the top side. Trey Kirk with the red numbers to his inside. Honeybrink just can't check up quick enough. Gets into Smeal. Boom. Boom. And the 11 car of Cody Meadows just avoiding that accident right there. Let's have a look. Absolutely well done. And from the cockpit of Cody Meadows. Never lifted, and he drove through the smoke. That right there earns Cody Meadows his Colt Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Ice cream indeed, Cole. Ice cream indeed. So Cody Meadows has the 7th position. Welcome, Salem, South Carolina's Jason Alexander to the front of this race. Alexander being scored ahead of Donald Ray. It's been a nice race for Jason Alexander so far, but he's looking to bring home the bacon. We're going to have fewer than 30 laps to go when we restart this race. Alexander right now sitting ahead of Tommy Reynolds in that 7 car. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the final 30 laps of action. You're watching the DarkSide Mustangs A² Cup Series from Daytona. the legend. Repeat 1975 in the chat, dropping some links. Gotta love him. If you haven't yet gone on to Repeat's channel, do us a favor. Green flag is out, 31 laps to go. Jason Alexander at the front battling with Donald Ray with 29 laps to go. That restart brought to you by the great Repeat 1975. I call him my godfather because he really did bring me into this and show me everything that I needed to do to be a good streamer. And I thank Pete for just about everything. Him, Atlanta Racing, Terry Radford, if you know TN Vols as well. A lot of my friends. Terry Freer goes for a spill out of turn number 2. And the 4.6 DuPont Chevrolet, Tokyo drifting down the back straight alongside Lake Lloyd. But he keeps it on the asphalt at the front. It's Jason Alexander to the inside of Donald Ray. Repeat 1975, as I was talking about him before Terry Freer so rudely interrupted me with his skidding. He did the truck race last night, and I love Pete. He's wonderful, and he'll be doing the Saturday Night Showdown Truck Series Saturday nights on his channel. Be sure to check that out, and you need to see the replay from last night's truck race. We keep talking about Jimmy Kerr, who finished 4th, and it's such a feat as there goes the 78. Estes is in the wall. Everybody checking up behind him. The 7 gets around Estes. The 2-2 of Kobe Roberts tries to push him along, but he's going to lose so much momentum. The 3-0 car, Daniel Roberts, now going to the inside of Toby Estes, this for the 14th position. And I swear I'm going to get this story out, but if it kills me, because these drivers want to keep interrupting me, go to Repeat 1975's channel, check out that truck race, give him a follow, give him a subscription. He deserves everything in the world, and I thank him for all the good he has done for me and my broadcasting. So do me a favor, go to twitch.tv/Repeat 1975. Donald Ray continues to lead. David Houck is in the 2nd position with Tristan Catania in 3rd. Here comes Mr. Jason Alexander, the South Carolinian, who will get bonus points for leading one car through the grass. This is not going to be good. There's the crash. Massachusetts' Tom Sears involved in that one, and that purple car was Elliot Longenecker in the 2.5, who just came back up onto the racetrack, and it looks like it was minimal contact between him and Sears. But let's have a look. Tommy Reynolds, Matthew Kent also went off the track. Take a look at this. Longenecker on the outside getting clipped by Reynolds in the 7, and he just plows into, it looks like Jacob Blankenship in that 8.5, and it was that Menards Ford of Blankenship that just got run into. One more look. From the blimp, keep your eye on the 8.5 to the inside. Watch the 2.5. He's going to try and make the move up top. Oh, and he just had to check up. And just nowhere for all of those guys to go. Tom Sears getting the very back end of Kobe Roberts at the very end of the accident. Have another look. Watch the 2.8 up ahead. Cody Pannell's going to avoid all of this. Unbelievably close. Stephen Downton misses all of that. Tom Sears just avoids that one. And, you know, you just have to call that a racing incident. Let's slow it down. You're going to watch here. keep your eye on that 2-5. You're going to watch the 2 car. Watch the gap between the 2. That's Thomas Andrews. Seth Wansing is up ahead. The gap will close. Rather than, well, Andrews checks up, but he can't check up hard enough. He's going to go a little bit to the outside. Longenecker will follow suit, and by the time Longenecker drops back in to enter turn number 3, Tommy Reynolds is to his inside, and he just gets hooked. The gap was always closing, and by the time Reynolds realizes it's time to check up, it's just far too late. Let's ride along with Cody Pannell. Enough of a twitch, and Cody just avoided that one. One more look. Cody Pannell missing that one at the last minute. And he stays alive. He stays in the game. So car 28, Cody Pannell doing a brilliant job of avoiding that accident, and the Georgian earns his first Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
Our Catania in the chat. That's Richie Catania, driver of that number 2-4 car, being scored in the 36th position out of this race. Let's see if we can bother Richie. Let's see if we can get him to come in and help us for the very end here, wherever he's sitting. But it's 24 laps to go now. Lights have just turned off atop the pace car. So we're going to go ahead and keep it pushing here. We've got 23 to go at the line. Texas Donald Ray still leading this event. Fans at home are going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with more racing and the final 23 laps from virtual Daytona. The lights were extinguished 1 lap ago, and we're going to finish this race. But who's going to win? That's the pressing question. Donald Ray and David Houck, 1-2. Those are the control cars waiting for the flagman to drop the green. Let's go racing. 23 laps to go from Daytona. Cars stream by at an incredible pace. 22 laps to go. Jason Alexander on the outside, but now welcome Joshua Gaiman into the inside for the first time all race long. New leader in car 61, Josh Gaiman. Cars backing up behind them. Who's going to check up? Who's going to avoid all of this? Welcome to the booth now, driver of that number 24, Rich Catania. Richie, welcome to the booth, my friend. Joshua Gaiman leads this race. Richie, you're muted, pal. Gaiman.
You got me, Rick.
There we go. Gaiman leading this race out of that second corner. There is the 11 of Cody Meadows behind him trying to come on through. Richie, it was a great start for you. You got caught up in some accidents here, but here you are. You're going to finish the race up top in the booth. Look who's climbed into third position. He was several laps down with no drafting partners, but now Stephen Downton, the Illinois pilot, has made it into third, Richie.
This is crazy, man. These guys were way back. I know I was racing with them earlier on, but they're back in it, man. It's Daytona. You never count yourself out till it's over.
If you had to pick somebody, Josh Gaiman has been a sleeper all race long. Cody Meadows has yet to taste a significant part of the lead, and Stephen Downton has made his first top 3 appearance. Look at the local driver, Jacksonville's very own Ryan Pannell in the Hooters Smeal Designs Ford, sitting in 4th. These are drivers we have never seen in these positions before, and with 20 laps to go, you could not have a successful bet. Well, you couldn't have a confident bet, I should say, that these drivers will be successful. It's still anybody's game.
It's anybody's game, man. There's so much time left, and it's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited to see who comes on top. But I mean, this is great right here. Awesome entertainment here.
Give us a little bit of insight. Coming out of that 4th corner, your number 24 DuPont Chevy was wounded, and it looks like you just got clipped by Tom Sears and maybe a couple others that were trying to avoid you. There goes Ryan Pannell to the outside. He's got help
Big moves
from Seth Wansing. To the inside, you've got Stephen Downton. Pannell drafting off the Illinois native, the hometown flavor, trying to get a win in the season opener of the DarkSide Mustangs Cup Series. 1-9. At the line. On the top side, Rich, you've got Pannell, Wansing, and then John Smeal, who was just involved in that accident. A resurgence. I wouldn't call it a resurrection, the likes of Lazarus, but you wouldn't blink twice if Smeal came through to win this race.
Absolutely. And if these guys on the outside line, if they could stick together and keep it tight, they will run past that inside line. It was super fast tonight. It was awesome.
A lot of drivers, including Seth Wansing, has said that the outside line is quick, but drivers like David Houck have told us you've got to protect the bottom. With 2 laps to go, where do you, Rich Catania, want to be leading this race?
Everybody would always say inside, but honestly, man, that outside was so fast today. If you have a good drafting partner, if you have a couple good buddies up there, you could definitely take them.
Now with 1 lap to go, where do you want to be?
I'd say the inside, but we'll see what happens here.
It's so exciting that the race comes down to this very bit right here. And Gaiman continues to lead, but the question is, can he hold it? Because Gaiman hasn't led all race long, but will he let go of this lead? He's been watching these drivers in the top 5 be diligent with their drafting moves. The 11 of Cody Meadows giving him a great push to the front, but now we get to see the reaction from Stephen Downton in 3rd and your little brother, Tristan Catania, in 4th.
Exciting, man. You know, that said, if somebody gets a run on the outside or somebody pops up and leaves a 61 hanging, I mean, it's going to be tight.
In the vacuum hole, the number 19 Mopar Dodge Charger, Stephen Downton, lets go of the draft, and he's falling all the way back, and in the blink of an eye, from 3rd to outside of the top 10 and sinking like a cast iron engine block, he jumps and cuts the line in front of John Smeal coming out of that 2nd corner. Everybody jostling, slicing left and right like a double-edged V8 sword down the long backstretch under the Florida sun into turn 3. 16 laps to go in the season opener. Gaiman does not relinquish the top spot, but the hard chargers behind him, Cody Meadows, Tristan Catania, Ryan Pannell now to the outside via the push from Seth Wansing, all want that first place. Richie, when the white flag flies, do you want to be leading?
Honestly, yes, but at the same time, no, because you are most times a sitting duck. You got to play defense. You got to be looking in that mirror the whole time to see who's going to make a move on you. But obviously, you always want the lead. But sometimes second place, comes out front.
It could come down to a last lap pass. Seth Wansing last year winning the A-squared All-Star race with a last lap pass through turn number 3, using the draft to his advantage. Ryan Pannell in that top spot on the outside line, currently scored 4th. Richie, there's momentum on the outside line, but how crucial is it to get connected versus the inside line? It's a longer route, so it takes more diligence and a lot more patience to get that line running.
As you saw a few laps back, Rick, I mean, the outside line was pushing hard, and when they were pushing hard, they were making up some serious ground. But if you're kind of like lagging back like Seth is now, you're a little bit, under the 8 ball, as you say, because it's a longer route around the track. So these guys need to kind of get together a little bit, push a little bit harder. Again, more risk, but it's got to be done in order to win.
In practice, who was your favorite drafting partner? Who was the most successful driver that you ran with?
I always love running with Tom Sears, man. He's a class act and super, super clean. Doesn't have on the bottom, but he and I were running some pretty hot laps earlier today.
The number 14, RaceArcs.com Camry, now to the inside of Jimmy Kerr, sitting on the outside of the top 10. Sears now drafting with the number 2 Miller High Life Mustang. That's Thomas Andrews in that 2. John Honeybrink sitting in the 15th position. He has a reputation for linking up with that 2 car of Thomas Andrews sitting in 8th. Richie, was there ever a fear that Tommy in the 2 and Twisted, as they call him, in the 20 would link up?
Oh, that's always the fear for the field, right? I always run together with these guys, and we're always super tight, and we were chatting all race long, and obviously they're looking to get together, but they have a lot of people to pass in order to get up to the front there, Rick.
1-4 becomes lucky number 13 laps under the Daytona sunshine. Across the tri-oval front straight, 2.5 more miles will mark a dozen revolutions left in the season opener. Josh Gaiman leading Cody Meadows. Atlanta Racing rating with a party of 9. I spoke about Repeat being one of my godfathers in broadcasting. Let me tell you about this gentleman here, Atlanta Racing. Some of my favorite and most enjoyable broadcasts have been with this man here, and when I tell you he brings twice the energy I do, I'm serious. Click that link, twitch.tv/Atlanta Racing. Go to his stream, follow, subscribe, and enjoy that racing. You will not regret it. The 6 of Tommy Withers hanging the tail end of the Valvoline Mustang out. Richie, a dozen laps remaining. Who do you like?
Honestly, man, this is anybody's race, but if you're looking at the 11 car has been hanging up front all night. You got the 2 cars now on the inside, back there, 4 spots back. Tom Sears is behind him. This could be any of these guys' race, or we could have a completely unknown winner. We're not sure yet, Rick.
If you've recently tuned in, I'm Rick James, and you're listening to the voice of Richie C. USA. DNF'd in today's race earlier, but he's come to finish out the show with us. Big welcome to the folks from Atlanta Racing's stream that are rating. Folks, if you don't know about Atlanta Racing, here's the link a few more times. Click on it. Twitch.tv/Atlanta Racing. These are one of the few gentlemen that really brought me up into broadcasting and showed me how to do it. And at the front, Richie, your little brother is showing you how to do it. Tristan Catania's the new leader with 11 laps to go.
Big pass. I told you, Rick. Get that outside line together. They push hard. I mean,
there it is.
No,
Tristan's into the wall. He just got hooked by Josh Gaiman, and that's going to be Tristan's race right there. Caution number 8 is out with 11 laps remaining. Tristan Catania with the run of the century on the outside. Richie, you called it. The 78 of Estes beached on the apron. The 3 of Cody Riggs slamming the wall to avoid Tommy Withers in the 6. And New Jersey's Tristan Catania, as soon as he took that lead, it was gone in the blink of an eye. XSW Fatal says, says here from Atlanta Racing, welcome from Atlanta Racing. And again, big shout out to all of you that just came through. I love Atlanta Racing with all my heart, and I appreciate him for that raid, and I appreciate you for sticking around. So stick around for these last 10 laps. It's going to be a hoot. Rich, let's go back and find out what happened here, because your brother just took the biggest pass of the entire race. Have a look.
Honestly, Rick, I was just looking back at this. It looked like he may have caught the apron after he cleared the 61. 61 got in the back bumper and spun him, but we'll take a look at the look here.
That's what it looked like to me. He got a great run there. I think Tristan sent it a bit too deep. He catches the apron there. And I think when he caught that apron, obviously Damon couldn't check up. There was no chance he could react. Let's have another look. Let's use the chase view here, and let's take a look at Tristan. So close to making that through. Actually, let's have a look with Gaiman here. From Gaiman's fender.
Yeah. Yep, caught the apron. Big time. Caught the apron.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. And who's going to avoid that? Just a big mess. Let's have another look here from the blimp. And this is all going to unfold in a quick and ugly fashion. You're going to watch the wreck happening up ahead, and everybody's going to try and scatter and avoid this. Just no, look at that. And I'll tell you what saved most of these drivers was the fact that Tristan Catania sailed through the air over half of these guys here. That's pretty impressive. Let's have a cockpit view here. Let's watch Toby Estes drive through this.
Oof.
Ugh. Oh my goodness, and Estes just didn't make it. Let's have another look with Don Ray.
Wow.
Seth Wansing right there, just got collected at the very end. I want to have a look with David Houck in the 2-1 Mobile One Ford, the Orange County native now.
Wow.
You couldn't get any closer. You really couldn't. And David Houck getting by with a little bit of help from his friends and a little bit of luck as well. Tristan Catania getting his repairs. Houck sitting in the 6th position for that clever avoidance. He earns his Cold Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
So David Houck sits in that 6th position while Cody Meadows is at the front with 9 laps remaining. Ryan Pannell sits behind him. The Jacksonville native trying to get his home region win, I should say, home state win. Jason Alexander in the number 53 Coors Ford sitting 2nd on that inside line. Let's see.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, from out of nowhere, right?
Nowhere.
And I'll tell you, he's another one of those sleepers, like the 61 of Gaiman, the 53 car there, just avoiding all those incidents, and he's able to just hold it together in one solid line. Jason Alexander could come away with this race win as well. And like you said earlier, it really is anybody's race. Looks like Cody Meadows is currently unavailable for comment. That's all right. You know what?
Also, too, Rick, the 14 car of Tom Sears was a lap down when I went into that caution. Unfortunately, was taken out of the race, but he's now back on the lead lap, sitting in 8th.
We'll see what these guys can do. Let's have a word with Ryan Pannell, the local driver. Ryan Pannell, Rick and Richie in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Half a lap to green, Ryan. How's the strategy going to play out?
I'm gonna hope like the Dickens that I have enough fuel to make it to the end, Rick. But man, I'm just going to ride this outside line and hope for the best and try and bring this 12 car home in victory lane. Man, I'm excited.
Who are you going to draft with to win?
Jacket's behind me. I got Cody behind me too. So we got some friends and teammates. Hopefully they'll push me to the win and I can start this season off right.
Shiny side up, Ryan. Keep her in one piece.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, Ryan.
I love that guy.
Me too, man.
He is a treat. So Ryan Pannell starts on the outside of Cody Meadows. Fans at home, if you haven't yet subscribed with your Amazon account, do so. It's a free subscription when you link your Amazon and Prime, and you can stay ad-free with Rick James TV. Cody Pannell, Ryan Meadows at the front. I've transposed those names. It doesn't matter. Green flag is out. 6 laps remain, Rich. You're the driver. You're leading this race. What are you thinking with 6 to go?
And at this point, you're just trying to keep the car going forward, keeping the nose clean, staying up front. I mean, especially in Ryan's case, taking out the outside over here, hoping that Jacket's pushing me, right? Making sure they stay on my back bumper, give me the best run I possibly can. Hoping that I'm able to get that run on the last lap.
Cars jostling, everybody falling out of that second corner, trying to squeeze into one line. 2 by 2, 7 rows deep. Donald Ray, a.k.a. Jacket, sitting in that second spot on the outside line. He's behind Ryan Pannell with David Houck behind him. Jimmy Kerr, 4th in line. On the inside, Cody Meadows, the 5'3" of Jason Alexander. Thomas Andrews in the 2. We've been speaking about his drafting prowess, and Tom Sears behind him. Pannell dives to the inside, Rich. 5 laps to go, and the 12 car has switched teams.
Yeah, he left Jack out there real quick, but I don't blame him. Got to get to the inside, get the preferred line. Now he's just got to play some defense and make sure that he stays out front for the end.
Pannell leading. He's up 31 places from where he started. Cody Meadows, 2nd in line, pushing along that 12, who just had a blink. This cannot be the time for the internet to go out because absolutely nobody is lifting off that gas pedal. John Honeybrink, 4th in line with the Dayglow color. 2-0 Camry on the high side. He's sitting ahead of Justin Williams in the 8. Donald Ray with a great run on the high side. He's getting help from David Houck. 4 laps to go, Rich. The outside has life once again.
Outside, like I said, Rick, as long as you have somebody pushing you, if you have a good group of guys pushing you, the outside is alive and well, and we're seeing that right here.
Houck trying to get some clean air, looking for a great run out of the second corner. There goes Pannell trying to steal the side draft off of the 5. Makes it slower. Houck has to start the push out of turn number 2, and there goes the momentum for the high side now. Eye in the sky, just showing the difference of how much that draft means. Top 2, top 3 now clear of Ryan Pannell. Pannell's got some more ground to make up, but he's losing it by the inch. Honeybrink now catching up on that outside line, Richie. 3 to go this time by. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, your top 4. Donald Ray, now the sitting duck.
Absolutely. Seems like that blink hurt Ryan a little bit. Hopefully he's able to recover.
Everybody on the outside line not moving an inch. Where Pannell went to the inside, seeking assistance from Cody Meadows. Ray stays on the high side, keeping his drafting partner David Houck behind him. Jim Kerr, 3rd in line, said he ran out of fuel Saturday night. He has a big checkup, and everybody behind him has nowhere to go. There's the wreck there. Cars moving everywhere. Honeybrink into Williams. The 11's collected. Only 4 cars survive at the front. Stephen Doughton tumbling end over end, a la Elliott Sadler. Talladega 2003, the 11 car of Cody Meadows getting clipped at the end. Tommy Withers involved in that one. The 6-1 of Josh Gaiman sneaks through. Caution comes out, coming to 2 laps to go. And Richie C, with the season opener, we're going to have a green-white checker.
Love it, man. And unfortunately, seems like a lot of the good guys that we were pulling for earlier may have been caught up in this one. But the top 4, it's going to be a shootout.
Let's go back and see what brought out this most recent caution. Caution number 9, flying at Talladega. Trey Kirk involved, Jake Blankenship involved. We know Jason Alexander got a piece of that one. And, you know, you hate to call it a racing incident because it really just is. Look at Tom Sears just bouncing through that grass. Does he keep the Camry clean? Goodness, he definitely does. Sears keeps it. Gaiman's into the wall. You see Wansing got a scratch. Let's have a look. Let's go a bit further back. And you know what? Let's go to the blimp view, Rich, because we're not going to be able to see a thing. Take a look at Honeybrink in that 20 car. The 2.8 of Pannell. Tail. Look at the run. Cody Pannell gets up the inside line, Richie. This is just a brilliant move here. Gets a great draft from Smeal. Nobody thinks to block Pannell. As he's coming up the inside, the hole gets a bit tighter. Oh, and it looks like the 75 of Kerr moved down a little on the 20. The 20 moved down on the 28. And everybody got collected. Look at the 18 car. That's Chuck Kaneda in the 18. He got turned, but he still made it through. He's in the top 10. Let's have a look at Cody Pannell again. And let's run this back. Keep your eye on the 7.5 of Jimmy Kerr.
I don't think the 28 had much to do with that, Rick.
No, the 20 looks like he was just trying to get to the inside of Kerr, coming to 2 laps to go.
Yep.
I didn't see anything wrong. With you're coming to 2 to go in a Daytona race, Rich. If you don't go for that move, you're wasting your opportunity.
Well, the 20 probably saw the 28 coming up, and he's like, well, I got to block him, try to make a run if he's got a big move like that, and unfortunately just caught the tail end of the 75, and there you have it.
Everybody getting a piece of this one. Look at Tommy Withers diligently just going very slow, avoiding all of this. Heads up move by the number 6 Valvoline Ford. Back to live pictures. Donald Ray leading this race. And a big shout out to the folks over at Windy Chevrolet in the Washington area, in Ellensburg to be specific. At Windy Chevrolet in Ellensburg, they pride themselves on outstanding customer service, whether they're looking for a new or used vehicle, financing options, or repairs and maintenance. They're here to serve all your needs. Find new roads at Windy Chevrolet or go to ebergchev.org. Richie C., it's 2 laps to go. Donald Ray leading David Houck. Ryan Pannell will be 3rd in line. Jimmy Kerr will line up with his Ford teammate on the outside. Who do you got?
Honestly, Donald Ray, jacket, he's always solid, but if I had to go somebody behind him, probably Ryan. Even Tom Sears, man. You got a good group of guys here in the top 5 alone that could pull this one off.
Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick 30-second break to guarantee we can go ad-free to the end. We'll be back with the first of 3 green-white checkered attempts. This is the DarkSide Mustangs Cup Series season opener from Daytona. Who's ready for the first green-white checkered attempt? I'm Rick James, joined by Richie C. in the booth, and if you've just tuned in, fantastic timing. It's the first green-white checkered, 5 miles to decide the DarkSide Mustangs season opener winner from Daytona. Pace car peeling off now, and look at the minimal amount of cars we have. Dr. Bush just in time. Sober David's ready to go racing. Green flag is out, and it's 5 miles to decide the season opener. Donald Ray, David Houck, Jimmy Kerr, Ryan Pannell, and Tommy Sears, your top 5 out of the second corner. Single file, high side. Pannell on the inside with no help behind him. Chuck Kaneda in the number 18 Rowdy Energy Camry. This is his first time in the top 10, Richie. Tom Sears to the inside. White flag is out this time by Donald Ray. Leads by half a car length.
Tom Sears making a big move, coming to the inside. Hopefully it pays off on his end. It's going to be a tight finish here.
2.5 more miles to decide the winner at Daytona. Donald Ray collects the white flag. Jimmy Kerr looks to the inside of David Houck. Who's going to make the move? Who will wait until turn 3? Where will the pass be made? So much to race left. Donald Ray leading David Houck. Jimmy Kerr sits in 3rd. Richie C. Where do they make the move?
Gonna have to be soon, Rick, coming to turn 3. There goes the lurking Tom on the outside, Tom Sears.
Tom Sears making the move on the outside now, trying to get that draft. He's got a push from the 12 of Pannell at the front. Donald Ray leading David Houck to win the season opener at Daytona. The DarkSide Mustangs A-Squared Cup Series will be decided by a drag race to the line. Ray goes high, Houck goes low, collected by Kerr at the end. Drag race to the line, and it's Donald Ray who survives the mayhem. He wins at Daytona. He's got the win in the DarkSide Mustang Cup Series. What a finish!
What a finish, Rick. That was awesome.
Come on! That was a great finish. Donald Ray gets the W. Ohio's Terry Gabbard tied for second with Chuck Kaneda, who started in the 11th position. Charles Kaneda had not met the top 3 up until that final lap. Terry Gabbard started 29th. Donald Ray, the pole sitter, gets the race win. And Rockwall, Texas has a reason to smile. Their man gets maximum points, and he opens the season. He's going to burn the house down. I want to check this celebration out. Sober David says, what a finish. Good job by all. Dr. Bush came in just in time. Donald Ray with the W and a stylish finish as well. Rich, I think we expected that kind of finish, but I don't think we expected it to be so close to the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, going down the backstretch, Donald Ray and Hawk had a pretty sizable lead there. Didn't expect them to end up finishing this way, but obviously Donald Ray coming out on top, which is awesome. Fantastic driver, always great at plate tracks, and happy for him.
Donald Ray getting the W at Daytona and winning in style. The number 5 Chevrolet first across the line. What a way to get it done. Rich, let's take one more look at that finish here. We're going to have to back this up, but they're already flipping and causing chaos there. Tommy Withers came up at the end as well. Now, let's watch this. I think it started... I couldn't tell you where it started. Let's pause this for a moment. Go into blimp view, and let's see if we can slow this down here. The 2-1 of Houck has already gone sideways. Got collected by the 78, but the 75, but Houck has to do, he's got to make that move. Houck does the right thing, going for the win. The 75 of Kerr just happens to be there. Everybody else checks up. Look at Terry Gabbard skidding across that line in the 2nd position. A violent finish for a lot of these drivers. We're going to go over the finishing order here in a moment. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 interviews in just a bit. Donald Ray, Terry Gabbard, and Chuck Kaneda will join us in the booth. What a finish from Daytona.
Amazing finish. And yeah, like Rick, like you were saying, David Houck had no other option but to make that move, and unfortunately he was not clear, which sent him down pit road. But yeah, great finish as always. I mean, we definitely didn't expect this, and this is an awesome victory for the 5 car.
Don't go anywhere, fans. We'll have the podium in just a moment. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with our 3rd place finisher, Chucky Kaneda, the number 18 Toyota Camry. You brought this home in 3rd place, and when you started 2 hours ago, did you think this is where you would end up?
I think he finished 2nd, Rick. DP finished 3rd. Just
is it?
You know.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah.
All right, then my timing and scoring is dead
My
wrong.
bad.
Let's talk
official.
Wasn't able to hear y'all.
Let's talk to second place Charles Kaneda then. Chucky came home in second in a thrilling finish. Did you think it was possible when you started?
I mean, I guess it's Daytona, so like really it's just a matter of surviving all the carnage at the beginning, and I guess that's what I was able to do. So
a brilliant finish, and then next week we're gonna be, where are we next week, Ryan?
Auto Club.
Auto Club. All right, so Chucky, Auto Club. Now you got a chance for a second podium. What do you think?
I'm totally down with it. It's, I mean, first race in ARCs, at least on the iRacing side. So this was awesome. Great way to start it.
Brilliant finish, and you certainly thrilled us. Congratulations on that silver medal. Richie, you've got our bronze medalist tonight.
Absolutely. Good buddy of mine, Terry Gabbard, a.k.a. Deplorable Me. Bring us through that last little bit there, Deplorable, and coming in home in third place there.
Yeah, what a crazy race. We kind of had a really good game plan at the beginning that we tried in the truck race, and it really worked out for us. So we just kind of rode around in the back through the first half of the race. Then when we got down to the end, I was like, man, this is probably a 14th place car. But then the lines just started moving. I went down to the bottom. I didn't know if that was going to work very well, but then we got that last restart, and we just kind of started passing cars. And then I knew they was going to wreck at the front. That's just kind of what happens. And I thought maybe Prophet was with me behind me, and we thought maybe we had a chance. I didn't see how far out the 5 was. He was way far away on that at the checkered flag. But props to him. He's going to seal his deal for the playoffs, so we're excited about that. Excited about this third place run. Hopefully there's a lot more of that to come for us.
Absolutely there, Terry. Appreciate it, and good job tonight.
Hey, thanks you guys for calling it.
Unofficially, the gap between second and third, 4/1000ths of a second. And a small gap between first and second, let's not kid ourselves. It was less than 2/10. Our John Smeal Racing Designs winning interview goes to Rockwall, Texas. Donald Ray starting first, finishing first. They call him Jacket, and he feels warm with that victory love now. Jacket, great finish. How'd you pull it off?
Man, it was a lot of great teamwork. We communicated well. We figured out pretty early that if you can get our team on the top side, we can pretty much take it where we wanted to, and that's what we did. Got a little damage early, was able to save my fast repair, never did have to use it, but man, it was Davy Jones, Thomas Andrews, Twisted, Kerr, everybody was just sticking with me there and made sure that we brought our team home a win.
7 days from now, you got to make it 2 for 2. What do you think about your chances for Auto Club?
Man, I like Auto Club. It's a track that if you're patient, you can be fast. If you're not patient, you can be fast, but then be really slow. So we're going to put in some practice, and hopefully we could get a podium there as well.
We'll see in 7 days' time. For now, Donald Ray, go celebrate. Congratulations on getting the DarkSide Mustangs Cup Series season opening victory.
All right, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
What a way to start the season, especially right after the Daytona 500. Man, I love racing. It is something else, and it really just does make your heart race, doesn't it? No pun intended. But a great way to start the season. 7 days from now, Clayton Hardy, yes, that Clayton Hardy, is going to be broadcasting the remainder of the 12 races in this A-squared season. Be sure to head on down to, Ryan, correct me, is it ARCS Racing Network or is it Aero Broadcasting Network?
Yeah, he'll be using ARCS Racing Networks for the remaining 11 races that he'll be calling. So super excited about that.
Twitch.tv/ARCS Racing Networks. Make sure you log on, make sure you follow and subscribe to follow the rest of this amazingly fantastic, thrilling season. That's going to be Clayton Hardy broadcasting next Sunday on ARCS Racing Networks. For all the folks over at John Smeal Designs, Windy Chevrolet, Pannell Machine Shop, and of course, the amazing folks down there in Atlanta at DarkSide Mustangs. I want to thank Richie C. I want to thank all of the fans that came through to show love and support. We cannot do this without you, and we would love to have you with us 7 days from now until that next race, everybody at home, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all